Hi, my name is Bernie, and I am a Pilates instructor based out of Somerville, Massachusetts. Today I'm going to be leading you through a full body Pilates flow on the mat. The only thing you will need is your body. This is appropriate for all levels. It is strength, it is cardio, so let's get started, and I hope you enjoy. Please remember, if you do like this video, to like, comment, and subscribe. Ask me any questions you need, and let me know what kind of Pilates flows you'd like to see next.
We start by taking the palms of our hands to our rib cage. Big inhale, filling up the rib cage in our hands. Big exhale, belly button to spine. Keep breathing like this and lining up movement to the breath. Let's introduce our pelvic rock, tilting the pelvis toward the face and away from the face, using the abdominals on the exhale to bring the tops of the hips closer to the rib cage and away from the face, creating a little space underneath our mid-back. Line this movement up with your breath and keep going. Reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling and open the chest by plugging your shoulder blades heavy down into the mat. Reach the arms back and bring them up into a chest lift. Keep repeating this movement and continuing to lengthen in the spine every time you go back, and keeping that length every time you come up. When you do your chest lift, really reach through those fingers and think chest to knee and not neck to chest. Keep going and keep lining up the breath with the movement. From here, you have the option to come into full roll up, lengthening into your neutral spine, crown of the head to ceiling. Keep the feet heavy, C-curve in that low back to go all the way back. Keep going, remembering to keep the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Really breathing through this and really thinking tall through the spine every time you lengthen up. Last one here, lifting up and lengthening to neutral, C-curve in the low spine and hold halfway. Right arm goes back, left arm goes back. You inhale, you exhale. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, keeping those feet nice and heavy. Last one each side. Really give me a deeper C-curve, and we pulse it out. Bring that belly button to spine even more. Deepen that C-curve, and we let it go. Breathe, breathe. Let go of the arms, and sway the knees side to side. Right and left leg come up into table. Grab the shins and press into your little ball. Single leg stretch. Grab the shin, switching sides. Can you get a little higher as you press your shin into your hands? Keep your shoulders off of the mat and keep switching. Exhaling every time the knee comes into the chest. If you feel your low back start to arch, press that low back down as we head into double leg stretch. Come all the way in. Double leg stretch, think tall, exhale, come in, keep going. We've got 3 and 2. I know, breathe it through, and 1. You got this, you're strong. 1 last time. You come in, we go right into rolling like a ball. You roll back and up, back and up. Keep tucking that tailbone. You're in a tiny little beach ball and you cannot get out. Keep going, breathe, and rest. Lengthen that spine and reach for a nice stretch. Walk yourself to the center of your mat and just breathe. Outstretch your legs so they're right in front of you, hip distance apart. Flex the feet and reach the fingertips out and east and west. Lengthen the spine as you rotate and back. Rotate in the other direction, keeping that tall spine. Think ears over shoulders, shoulders over the middle of your hips. Every time you rotate, let out a big exhale, bringing the belly button closer to the spine. Try to press the crown of your head up toward the ceiling and get a little bit taller in your neutral spine. We're going to rotate and hold as we saw over and reach as we lengthen from the low spine. We come back up in our rotation and come center. Keep going. Every time you twist, keep the hips square and rotate from the waist. Keep flexing the feet, trying to bring the toes to the knees and really bring those shoulders down the back and away from the ears. Keep going and keep breathing, keeping the arch out of your mid-back and lengthening through that lumbar spine. We bring the arms center, framing the sternum as we roll back slowly. From here, bend the knees and make sure the feet are in a number 11 parallel hip distance apart. Tilt the pelvis towards your face and press down into your feet to come up into your high bridge. Keep tilting the pelvis towards your face to come down, tailbone's the last thing to hit the floor. Keep going and make sure that your knees, hips, and shoulders are all one line. Closing the rib cage and making sure that your feet are pressing down into that mat. You can go ahead and progress by bringing the arms up, but make sure the chest is still open and the shoulders are heavy. From here, we hold. Pulse and pulse. We pulse and pulse. Keep going, bringing that belly button to spine, lifting the hips from the glutes, pressing the feet down, trying to drag our heels to our glutes without actually moving them. Hold and carefully bring down the spine. We lift back up, big exhale, inhale, lengthen, exhale, down. Line up your breath with this movement as you continue to bridge. Continue to press into those feet and glutes to get the hips higher a little bit each time. From here, we lift one heel up, the other heel up, and we keep switching heels, placing the weight in all 10 toes and trying not to let our hips sink any lower. Can you actually get your hips any higher? Hold both heels up as we pulse and pulse. If this is too much for the backs of the thighs, bring your arms down and don't feel the need to float the fingertips up. Both heels come down, tailbone comes down, arms come down, and we rest. Come all the way up to seated. Let's come into our quadruped position, knees directly under hips, wrists directly under shoulders. Going into our cat-cows. If this bothers your wrist, please go into a fist. Keep going and keep lining up the breath with this movement. Had to fix my hair. Tuck the toes under as we go into our half plank. Float the knees up 3 inches. Make sure that spine is nice and long because you're bringing the belly button in and slightly tilting the pelvis toward the rib cage. Just breathe here as we hold. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. One more breath. And slowly and gently bring those knees down into a child's pose. We come back into our quadruped and tuck the toes. Neutralize the spine and float the knees up. Extend one leg back and the other leg back for a full plank. Go into your downward dog and press out into your plank. Keep going, pressing the heels down, crown of the head forward. Really flow through that spine. We've got one more. Inhale, lengthen into our leg pull. You lift that right leg and that left leg. Totally okay to stay in plank if you don't want to do the leg pull. Making sure the hips are square to the floor. Just breathe. Make sure there's no arch in the low back for one more. And we go into our child's pose. Just breathe. Toes together, knees apart. Really reaching those fingers, you walk your hands to the right side of your mat and give your left lat a stretch. Breathe into this. Walk your hands to the other side for your right lat stretch and breathe into this. Carefully come up to seated or kneeling and celebrate that we have 5 minutes left. We're going to go into our prone position, stomachs on the mat, laying down with the legs behind you, palm over palm, forehead on the hands. Legs are hip distance apart as you press the tops of the hips into the mat and try to lift the back of the thighs up toward the ceiling. You're going to lift head and chest up into extension, bringing the hands with you, still connecting to that forehead as you come down. Continue with this movement as you inhale to lift, bringing the shoulders down the back and away from the ears. Holding here, keep breathing. Bringing the backs of the thighs up, protecting the lower back by pressing the tops of the hips into the mat. Big inhale and exhale to come down. Engage those glutes to press the hips down and float up into your extension. We lift up an inch and down an inch. Up and down. Big inhale, big exhale. Remembering again to press those hips down and protecting that low back. Feeling this in our glutes as we continue to engage the legs. Pretend someone's pulling you from your toes, making the legs even longer. One more and relax. Take a moment to breathe here before we head into our next progression. Press the hips down and lift all the way up. Arms extend out for swimmers. Breathe, moving from the hips and the shoulders, not the knees and the elbows. Continuing to bring those shoulders down the back. See if you can get any higher by pressing your hips down, engaging the glutes. The closer your legs together, the harder this will be. See if you can challenge yourself. 3,